Hello and welcome to The Gaggle, where we challenge and, if necessary, destroy media narratives. All right, let's talk about Trump's campaign. We've, in the two previous videos, we talked about Joe Biden and we talked about Kamala Harris, or whatever her first name is. And now let's take the flip side. Let's take a look at what the Trump campaign is doing. Lionel, I have to be, I have to show my frustration. I want to see more out of President Trump in dealing with the situation that is facing the country. We have the pandemic, we have COVID, and what's more important to me, actually, in many ways, and obviously related to the pandemic, is the reaction. And there's just so much the president of the United States can do, because it's Congress that dispenses money. Okay, they have the purse strings. I'm very distraught with the GOP in the Senate. I would have thought that this was a perfect opening to go to the left of Joe Biden. I am not a big spender. I actually believe in cutting deficits. I'm very traditional in that sense. But in an emergency, in a crisis, you have to use the tools that are at hand, and the government should intervene. And I see that the Democrats, all they want to do is all their little goodies, help all their little friends, and the GOP was left holding the ball. And I think in the middle of an election cycle, that's not a wise thing to do. Go ahead, Lionel.
The president has to do one thing as a theme. Tell me what you're going to do. I don't care what you've done before. It doesn't matter. I don't care about anything before. Respirators last week is last year. Right. We have the attention span of an ant. What are you going to do? But make it very, very simple. I say 3 topics, most, maybe 2. The number one issue that everybody is aware of, because people know that COVID is whether it's a medical martial law or whatever it is, or masks, we understand it. You're doing a great job. Trump sometimes is he's the accountant who loves to go through with how many masks and bores people to tears. He needs to be able to say it succinctly. If you have not noticed that this country is under attack from within, call it a civil war, call it insurrection, call it whatever. If you want this to continue, you vote for them. I want to stop this. I want to make you and your family safe. I can say thank you and good night. Nobody understands. This is Richard Nixon. This is the 68 convention. This is bread and butter. And they're handing it to him. This is the only country where Antifa, or whether it's BLM, goes on Twitter and says, we're going to be here. We're going to have the pallets of bricks. We're going to meet. It's the most incredible thing in the world. But God forbid you talk about hydroxychloroquine or whatever it is, and you're a lunatic. He has to be able to say what I'm going to do. Forget unemployment. Nobody cares about that. This is what I'm going to do. Next, this is what makes us different. And number 3, leave Joe Biden alone. We know he's demented and senescent. Forget it.
On that point, I agree with you completely. On the unemployment issue, I don't agree, but I agree. Why? It's like shadow boxing. Why are you talking about Joe? Okay, because you're not going to get anything back. So what's the point? You waste your resources. You waste your time. On the unemployment issue, I think that, yes, I think that I appreciate that the president came out with those executive orders, the legality of which are very dodgy. And I would love someone to challenge him in court, because you want to challenge someone that's trying to help unemployed people. That's not going to work out too well. But the executive orders are very cumbersome. It's very difficult to see how they will be enacted. It is very irregular, what he's trying to do. And that's why we have executive orders when there's an emergency here. But, you know, I've been watching his campaign people come out, and I get really distraught. You know, he's a Bolshevik, he's a Bernie bro. I mean, I don't think anybody wants to hear that. It doesn't make any sense. Nobody cares. What they want is what can you do that he can't do or he won't do? And we're turning into Venezuela. Most people in America don't even know where Venezuela is, okay? I mean, I'm really tired of that. And I think they waste so much capital and time and patience. And I think it just goes in one ear out the other. It's like, huh? How does that help me? That's what people want to know. How does it help me? Calling Biden a communist or a Bolshevik doesn't mean it doesn't. It's just such empty, hot air. It doesn't have any traction. My opinion. Go ahead, George.
That is exactly right. So when they come out with these slogans, oh, the Democratic Party is far left and it's this extreme socialist, it doesn't mean anything because for most people, socialism isn't a bad thing. I mean, if socialism means more government services rather than fewer government services, they say, include me in. You know, I like this socialism. And then they say, well, socialism, that's Stalin, Mao, Pol Pot. No one believes that. No one believes that Biden and Harris, are Stalin, Mao, and Pol Pot. So it's a ridiculous argument, almost as ridiculous as the argument put about by the Sean Hannitys, who also combined the Biden as Stalin with the notion that Biden as the Ku Klux Klan, he is really friends with Robert Byrd back in the 1970s. Robert Byrd was Senate Majority Leader. Well, of course, any senator is going to be
George,
Senate Majority Leader.
And it's only old guys like us that remember him, okay? Do you think the millennials care about Senator Byrd? Lionel, again, it's putting rhetoric out there that you're throwing it against the wall and nothing sticks, okay?
First of all, calm down. Peter, please. I'm worried about you. Calm down. You're but I want to make it even simpler. There's three groups of people. Number one, the people who are going to vote for Trump no matter what, the people who are going to vote against Trump no matter what, and in the middle we have these people, the undecideds, the independents, and they're from swing states, battleground states. Let's talk about them. These are people who don't own a Twitter account, don't watch CNN, don't know Jake Tapper from a hole in the ground. They have no idea who these people are. They're trying to go to work. They're scared. Their kids are at home. They're homeschooling. Unemployment. Are you going to pay for? They have what you and I are talking about. They're still waiting right now to even when I just mentioned violence in the street, that they can connect to. That's the person. So President Trump has to come out and just very, very simply keep it simple. Now, he also has to use a dog. Always bring a dog into the picture. Just kidding. Lyndon Johnson did it. Fala, it works. But he also has, and very quickly, he has no platform. He has to have, it might be too late, I've been screaming about this for years, he needs a Trump TV, an app or something to do for the video world what he did for Twitter, where he talks to the people. His words don't get out. Nobody hears them. There is no, it's Fox News maybe, some others. There is no right-wing media like there was years ago. How does he get this word out? Who's listening to him? It's the same drivel, the same dreck over and over again. That's it. It's very simple. One message, maybe two, but you've got to get to the people. Do they even know anything you're about? Do they even know you after? Do they really know you? Do they like you? Because COVID took away the greatest thing ever, and that's the rallies. He can't speak to people anymore. So how does he get the message? How does he connect? That's the problem.
Yeah, and the connectivity issue is really important, George. And if I was the consultant, I would go back on values and ideas instead of demonizing people, because I think that if anything, we're exhausted by that. Okay, I'm exhausted by it. Everyone knows I'm a big fan of Tucker Carlson. Why? Because he talks about values and ideas. Hannity and Laura, they are just an extension of the White House comms office. Okay, and I find that exhausting. Okay, I really do. Maybe they do better than the comms office, but I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in ideas and policies, and not just identity politics or how I feel in the morning or how I feel when I see something or hear something. I think that really, and Trump did this in 2016. Everyone was dismissive about trade. What's that? Trade? Why is he talking about trade? A lot of people care about trade, okay? That's the kind of a combination of what Lionel just said to us. I think that's what's really important. I think we need if I was advising the Trump campaign, cut away from the fog, and as Lionel said there, find your connectivity, and it was done once and it can be done again. Go ahead, George, wrap it up for us.
Well, that's the remarkable thing, that the way the issues in 2020 have fallen, they should all favor Trump. Trump was warning about China back in 2015, 2016. the virus comes from China. So, no, nothing good comes from China. He warned about shipping industries and jobs overseas. Well, now we've seen the consequences.
Supply chains.
Exactly. The supply chains are not based in the United States. He talked about the importance of immigration control in 2016. Well, yeah, now we know that it's very important to know who exactly comes in, whether they're criminals, whether they're public health hazard or whatever. So, and then, as Lionel pointed out, there's the law and order issue. Suddenly, there's crime, murders are soaring in all the major cities. Then you have Antifa and all these thugs, ruling the roost in any number of other cities. So the law and order issue, again, should be working for him. Yet the remarkable thing, he's behind in the polls. And I think he is failing to communicate, he hasn't somehow reimagined how he should run this campaign. Instead, he's kind of singing, from all the old songs. Oh, the economy was doing so well. Yeah, 12 months ago.
Yeah, well, nobody likes to hear what the economy was like in January. It doesn't matter. Exactly. It doesn't matter. Okay. Yeah. I'm just gonna say something here. We're gonna end it here. Is that I think one part of the fog for this president is his own party, the GOP. They're part of the fog here. So much more to talk about, gentlemen. Thank you, Lionel. Thank you, George. We're going to say so much more about this here on The Goggle. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll all see you soon. Out.